And they go out and they have the match, and Moxley just being that precise fighter who has to take care of this on his own. And he did. And he was vicious. And I don't think I've seen that many useful, important pile drivers in a match in forever. Yeah, we see destroyers and all that, and sometimes they get spammed. That was an attack on the man's neck because it had a target on it. And everything that he did was meant to put that neck in worse and worse shape. As bad as it could be. Because Danielson has given him that target. And Moxley, this is not a friend that is wrestling him that is worried about that. This is not Will Ospreay worrying about hitting a Tiger driver. This is the complete opposite. And that is the mentality that Moxley and Marina and Claudio and Pac and now Yuta all have. There are no friendly matches. There are no exhibitions. There are no fights for pride. There are no fights and handshakes after the fact. That's so in the past. That is what they thought Bryan Danielson was doing incorrectly. He was being complacent. Now we attack, we win, we move on. They had an outstanding fight, personal, main event level world title match that the crowd was with after a pretty long night of a lot of matches, with multiple returns, of a lot of new directions in the best way possible. But it's a lot. You know, it was brought up that they saved the Lashley potential debut because there was so much going on. And I completely agree with that. And you knew, even after Takeshita wins, MJF comes back and Adam Cole comes back, and we'll get to that. And everything else that happened on the show. All noteworthy, all newsworthy, all important steps forward in the direction of the company. But they also knew that the lasting scene would be what we saw in the last 5 minutes of that show. And that was going to take precedence over everything. That's good planning to go, okay, let's keep Bobby Lashley off this. Let's keep Mercedes off this card, perhaps. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's all true, but it makes sense. When they finished Danielson and there was that reaction from the crowd, it was anger, disappointment, and sadness. And it was the exact emotions that should have come from the end of that show. I said it last week. I said it over the weekend. I'll say it again here. Bryan Danielson had to go out the way he did. City and Local just put up Bash at the Beach 96. I used that exact comparison over the weekend. You need to take that into an account. All In was the happiest thing you could possibly do. Bryan Danielson wins. His family's there, but you get him up here. The underdog gets his moment. It's a happy moment. What do they do at the next pay-per-view? They put a bag on his head. Hangman and Swerve had a vicious cage match that did not end happily. For God's sakes, you could see the guy who won the match in Hangman be conflicted almost in a way and yell, and am I going to go back to the... And it wasn't happy. But it was the right way to finish things. I forgot who posted it today. Grapple Clips or whatever. Posted, he said, oh, this is getting more traction. And it was something he had posted. It was the anniversary of Kevin Owens powerbombing Sammy into a defeat at a takeover. After Sammy had won the title and had that journey to get there. And then, of course, Kevin, as they walk up the ramp and the NXT copyright bug comes up, he slams his head onto the ground. He beats the hell out of him. And then what happens? Kevin takes the title from him. I don't know why there was no complaining about that. That's a sad finish. That is a heel being as vicious as possible and putting down a babyface that everybody loves. And guess what? You were supposed to hate Kevin Owens, and people did. And I think that was important to do, much like I think it was important for Moxley's group to do this. Kevin Owens came into WWE with indie buzz. Regardless as if he had great work as a babyface or a heel, people were excited to see him in WWE. He was a babyface from his introduction. He beat C.J. Parker, Juice Robinson. People knew about the Kevin and Sammy connection. Babyface, babyface, babyface. Main event's over, and slam his head to the ground. And how do we hammer that home? Kevin beats him. He takes the title from him. We hate Kevin more. We feel worse for Sammy. We want Sammy to make his comeback. And you've established Kevin as a man, as a wrestler, as a fighter, who will do whatever he needs to do to get the job done, even if it means taking out his best friend on the biggest night of his friend's career. That was the right bit of storytelling. We knew who the hell Kevin Owens was from the jump. And yes, he's gone babyface and heel, and now he's back to that. But it told the correct story. Bash at the Beats 1996 told the right story. It was shocking. Who was it done against? Macho Man, Sting, Lex Luger. Take out the big baby faces. Establish who the hell this group is. And I'm not saying Moxley and group are NWO. I don't want it to, I'm saying the level of heat that they had to generate to get themselves at the level they needed to be at going forward to establish who the hell the NWO was accomplished on that night. I go back to the Nexus. The Nexus, a week before they had that attack to end Raw, were on a game show that Wade Barrett happened to win. On a show that had Bryan Danielson chugging soda and running through the concourse. And what did that turn into? An absolutely shocking ending to Raw that made you pay attention, give credit and respect who the hell the Nexus was. They take out CM Punk and Luke Gallows. They take out the Straight Edge Society on the outside. Then they go in there and they wreck the guy, John Cena. And they beat up Justin Roberts. And they choke him out. And they rip up the... And you remember that because they had to establish who the hell they were. What'd they do? They took out Vince after that. They took out Ricky Steamboat. They took out Bret Hart. They were on a roll. They didn't book it correctly in the end. We know what happened at SummerSlam. We know what happened with Cena, what happened with Wade, and they threw that away. I don't know what's going to happen necessarily with this group that Moxley is leading. We will see if they land this plane. But so far, they've done exactly what they've needed to do to establish them. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette.
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.